morning. It's me, the boss again. And my hey boss, what do you know? Subject, somebody asked me, have I ever dealt with depression? And I would say, hell yeah, plenty times. You don't get to be on drugs for 10 or 12 years and not deal with depression. You don't get to have many failed relationships and not deal with depression. You don't go from having over $100,000 to being negative broke and not deal with some sort of depression. But like I say, had to take a quick break real quick. Man, I gotta keep it going. Even while I'm trying to help you, I gotta help myself. And I have to also say, yes, I've mentioned that I've dealt with addiction before, but I also have 12 years of sobriety also. That sobriety doesn't mean that I still don't have problems, but you know what? It helps me be able to work through them. So, yes, I understand depression. I've been in that. For me, I describe it as like I was in a fog, thick, and it was just like crushing me in and suffocating. And I think my biggest issue was the times that I've dealt with depression, definitely when I was younger, is that I felt like nobody would understand. I felt like there was really no one I can talk to. And that's when I learned was one of my biggest mistakes is not thinking that anyone understand. You know, like macho, like I'm a man. I'm supposed to be able to deal with these different type of things. But I've learned that without getting too psychological, because I want to keep this as real as possible, because that's what I do. I want to keep it real regular talk. There is a difference between clinical depression and non-clinical depression. I'm just going to call it like that without getting too scientific about it. I do feel that you can work through regular depression, and one tool that I use is fitness. There's a positive correlation between fitness and keeping your self-esteem. I'll get into, like I say, I want to keep this regular talk, not to get into scientific terms and things like that, because you know, I'm not a psychologist. You don't have to be one to understand that, you know, doing certain type of activities, running a long distance, high intensity training, releases different things like dopamine and serotonin, you know, these different endorphins that mimic things like morphine, and they pass through your neurotransmitters. Like I said, I don't want to get too scientific about it, but when you exercise, you get like what some call a runner's high or something like that, and it's a mean to deal with that depression for me. I've dealt with depression even during my fitness times. Now, mind you, when I've added nutrition, physical fitness, and a great support family group and things like that, I will tell you that I haven't had any bouts with depression in at least about 3 years. Actually, I'm to a point where I feel like life is great. Without going on too long, I see I'm gonna have to break this up into probably a 2-part question. So I'll have part 2 to this on ways that I've dealt with depression coming soon. Right now, I gotta get back to my workout.